Hi guys, and welcome to the next midweek update. There's Sam, look. Sam, why are you so dirty?
Just cleaned the cleaner, the big cleaner, and it's the worst job we could possibly do here. It's singing.
So the big cleaner in the workshop's just needed a quick refresh. So they've just emptied that and refilled it, or Sam has. We've also got Chris here doing some work. We're having a toilet fitted underneath the stairs, like a workshop toilet and sink. So he's been sorting out some of the drainage, and then I'll show you inside as well. So lots of work's come in as usual in the shop. We've got an SR20 DET bottom end that's come in. We've got a Dodge V8 that's come in for machining. I'm just finishing off the Mini. There's a Duratec engineer for a reface. The Mercedes Cosworth, the bottom end is all machined and painted. That's going on an engine stand very soon. In the workshop, we've got the 2 MGBs that I'm going to strip down probably tomorrow morning. There's another TR6 here. We've got the PD engine has been stripped now. That's been through the cleaner. We're waiting for new pistons to turn up for that. But it's been machined, or starting to be machined. And then I'll show you what Chris is up to. Chris, you're not on the toilet, are you?
No, not in yet.
No, there we go. So Chris has done this room here for me. So we're having a toilet here and a sink there, so we don't have to keep running upstairs. And then we've got storage underneath the stairs for all the other bits and bobs. So Chris has done a mega job there. Here, I'm still waiting to try and find some tooling for the scale borer. The cleaner, I mean, amazing how different the cleaner sounds when it's been emptied and refilled. But yeah, that's all good. He's marking a load of bits up for the Toyota, isn't you? Yeah, and then in here we're doing Mix MG 3 bearing B crankshaft, which this has got no other signs of balancing on there at all, and it shows because on the balancer, on the flywheel side we're 92 grams out, and on the front pulley side we're 38 grams out. So that needs a bit of attention. And that's it inside the workshop, really. Everything else is pretty much the same as last week. I'll add some other machining videos to this video just to show you what we've been up to as well. I think I'm going to put some aeroplane cylinder heads on this video and maybe a flywheel. So all good. I'm showing you an engine that we've got leaving today. This is a 2 1/4 Land Rover bottom end that we've had here to recondition. I've put 4 liners in it to take it back to standard, reground the crank. It's had all new timing gears on the front, new oil pump, new camshaft, and then it's all timed up. I've lock wired all this back to how it should look originally. Put the distributor in as well. So we're going to cling film that up, get it on a pallet ready to take back. I've had this crossflow come in, which we look after quite a lot. This has actually not done a lot of work, and for some reason it's shattered all the top rings. So that's come in to have to be re-rung. So we're going to just quickly hone the bores out on that, re-ring it, get that finished. Sam's reconditioning some heads over there. I've got I've got a pair of these air-cooled aeroplane cylinder heads, which I've got to drop down this ceiling ring, lower this face to make sure the liners protrude correctly. So that's a job that I'm doing today. And then big thing that's happening this week is, you may have seen in some previous videos that I've had a Mark 1 Escort over in where we keep the race cars, and I decided to get rid of it actually. Main reason being is my race car and storage. My race car needs a fortune spent on it from the damage for the 2 outings at Silverstone Circuit. and I've got a car in storage. I'll show it you now. This Mark 1, it's really stunning. It's a genuine Lotus twin cam. It's actually a pilot car. It's Pilot 4, which I was going to do. We was going to do it up on the channel and show the car being done, but we've got an issue trying to get the logbook back out of the DVLA, which I still think we could do it, but it's been kept in storage and it's being used as a bit of a bench more than anything else, and we could do with the space back for the car, or what the car takes up. So a really good friend of mine, actually, I've known him for 22 years, Simon, he come over and saw it, and he's got a Mark II RS 2000 as well, and he said, I'd really like that, and I said, well, I probably would sell it at the minute. I was umming and ahhing, I was thinking I need the space. So I showed him all the stuff that come with the car, and he said, let me have a think about it. Then he rang me up and he said, I'm interested in it, but would I take a trade-in of a motorbike? So I'm going to show you that. So Simon's had this bike from nearly new. This is an 03 Harley Davidson V-Rod, 100th anniversary. Simon owns a garage called Amber Motor Company, and he's absolutely addicted to the colour orange. So he had the orange and blue tin work put on it. So in this box down here is all the original white and black with a gold pinstripe 100th anniversary bits, which actually I want that stuff put back on it. So like I say, he's had it in storage from virtually brand new. The bike has only done 1,100 miles, so I'm not a bike person, if truth be told. I don't know how to ride a motorbike. I've not got my bike license, but I just thought it's quite cool actually, and it takes up a lot less space than my Escort. We could stick it up in the meeting room upstairs, and it's a bit of a talking piece. And I want my Escort to go to someone that's actually going to do it, because I don't see, with the racing and my Mark II Escort, I don't see us having the time to do it. So we had the deal. We got the car out of storage yesterday, which took about 5 hours to unblock it from where we keep the race cars. We've got it out. I've just gave it a wipe over, and Simon is on his way to collect it. He actually had the bike dropped off 2 days ago by a transport company, but he's collecting the Escort himself today. So I'm a little bit gutted. I really wanted to do it, but you know what, I've still been part of the car's history, and sometimes you've just got to take a little bit of profit and move on. And the profit that I get from the Escort, it won't fix my race car, but it will go a long way towards fixing my race car. And I want to go racing. I'm 49 years old. I ain't going to be able to race forever, so I just want to, while I can, keep going. So yeah, that is that. The next thing that I'm going to do is actually get the Chevy back up and running. I've got to do a head gasket on it. I've had this for about 12 years, I think. It's a 454 Chevy SS supercharged. I don't really use it a lot, but when I do use it, I love it. But last time we used it, we think the head gasket went on this side here, and the brakes was really bad. So we're gonna pretty soon take all the brakes apart, order some brake pads and discs for it, take the pair of heads off and recondition the heads and get them back on. So we've got a bit of super finishing in to do today for a guy that does some gearbox work for us when we need anything done. Not Jamie. Jamie does our sequential gearbox for the pickup, but when we had the gearbox done for Sam's Clio, we sent it up to Competition Transmission Services, a guy up there, Bernie, who we do a fair bit with, and he sent us down a gear kit just to super finish. So we're just done packaging it now. We've ran the super finisher just to get some of the detergent and everything flushed through all the media. I'm also going to put in some other little bits and bobs to go in there, but first job is just to get all this ready. So we're trying something new. We've just put an exhaust primary in there to see what it does. Might not work, might work, but this is the start of the 9-hour process. We've got a gearbox kit, some gudgeon pins to do, and then some con rods for a customer as well. So Sam's just starting to put all the bits into the trough where he wants them. Any orders, Sam, or just filling it up?
I'm going to keep the bigger stuff over there.
Oh, okay.
The smaller stuff this end.
Yeah. And that's it. So 9 hours to go on that, and then we'll see what they come out like. So Sam's got the super finishing out of the super finisher. So I'm just getting now ready to bubble wrap and send back the parts to customers, and also look at the parts that we've just done for testing. So I'll show you what they are and what they look like. The first bit are these gear sets for a customer, which, I mean, if you look, it is like it's like a mirror. I don't know if the camera's picking it up as good as what it is, but they look incredible. So these parts here and these parts here are all for a gear kit. And then we thought we would run a bit of exhaust piping through the super finisher. So this is off my pickup, what blew up at Silverstone. So this is just one of the pipes, and we put that in the super finisher just to see how it would bring it up, and it's done an absolutely fantastic job of that. So we can now offer that as a service, but it would have to be separate pipes. I don't think we would fit the manifold in full, but it's chromed up very nice. And then these are a load of second-hand buckets that I had, which are all in good condition, but I thought I would just see exactly the kind of finish it does on them. Once again, it's mirror finish. And then there's a couple of sets of rods for a customer, or 2 different customers, which we've ran up as well. So once again, a really stunning job of the rods. So what I've got to do now is just post the rods back to my 2 customers and post the gear kit back to another customer. But yeah, I'm really chuffed with the finished result on that, so that's good. So a job that I've had come in are these aeroplane cylinder heads, and my customer wants me to reface in here. I think they're VW air cooled, but they are on an aeroplane. So he wants me to reface in here, and then whatever I take from the inside of this, he wants me to reface that part by to get the right the right recess. I've done this one, so I've measured this one with 230 thou deep from there to there. So I've machined this one flat, and these are now 245. So I've also got to cut the seats, give them a wash, and then they're done. So I'm going to mount this one, machine it, and I'll show you how to do it. So I've got the first cylinder on this aeroplane head all trued up in the milling machine. So what I'm going to do now is start to wind the mill table up towards the boring head, and that will skim a nice flat surface in the combustion area. So I'm going to have to come in a couple of thou deeper because it's just not clean that one part of the cylinder up. If I blow that away, you should be able to see just here. So I'm going to come in a couple of thou more. We'll spin it round again, get it where it's flat, and then give it a final cut. So I've got the first one machined now to get my height right. This had been machined before and on the wonk slightly, so I've machined it where the heights are now right and deburred it. Next thing for this is to cut the seats, but before I do that I'm going to machine the other one. The second head has never been machined before, so I've measured how much I've machined this down by. I'm going to now skim 12 thou off the top of this, check my measurement, and then just bring it down the rest, because I've basically machined 15 thou from the inside of the combustion chamber. So yeah, because this one has never been machined before, this one is the raw casting, so I'm guessing this one might look quite bad when I start to machine, but we'll switch it on and find out. So that's the first pass done, and it is skimming around this ring here and all the way around here, but it's quite higher on this one side. But we'll keep machining until we get nice and flat. It refaced, and all I've got to do now is deburr it and then cut the seats. Right, upstairs to the seat cutter now. I've cut the seats on both cylinder heads, so I'm going to put this one in the wash now and then recondition the valves. I'm not going to film me reconditioning them because all I'm going to do is shot blast them and reface them. And then after that job, I've got a few flywheels to lighten, but I've also had a customer from a garage around the corner that's doing a clutch on a car, and the flywheel's finished on that. So it's a stepped flywheel. So I'm going to put this in the lathe, measure how deep the step is, and then machine the mating face or the clutch face of the flywheel, measure again how much I've taken off it, and then machine this part to basically get it back to the right depth. So I'll film that as well. So we're getting there with the aeroplanes now. So I'm just getting ready to machine this flywheel. So first thing that I'm going to do is measure the depth. So I'm using a depth micrometer for that, and then I'm going to knock the dowels out. And I'll show you how I get them out because they can be quite tricky. Sorry about the noise, the super finisher's running, but let me tilt this down, I'll show you what I do. So I use a vise with some really good sharp jaws in it, tighten it up in the middle of the end, so on one of the ends, right in the middle of the jaws, get it nice and tight, then very carefully just get it where I know that the dowel is moving. Once I know the dowel is moving, I know that it's going to come out. So then nice big heavy hammer, so this is a copper hide number 3 Thor, and then just tap it until it comes out. Sometimes you have to just give it a couple of goes and make sure it's really nice and tight. Yeah, it's just starting to go, so I just need to bite into it again. There we go, so that's got that out. It puts a little flat on it, but what I do is when I put them back in, I turn them in that way, and then that way that end bites in and locks against the flats even better. So once again, get it lined up, smack bang in the middle of the vise, and then just there you go, it's just starting to move. Tighten the vise. One more to do. That's it. So now we're over at the lathe. I'm going to change the jaws of the lathe. This is the internal. I'm going to put the external on because I want to grab the flywheel on the outer part to take all the vibration out and things like that. It just machines a lot better. So I'm going to swap that over. I'm going to give the machine a bit of a clean off because my mate come and borrowed it the other day and he didn't clean it. Rob, I know you don't watch my channel, but you're naughty. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you it being machined. So I've got the flywheel in the outer jaws, got it held nice and tight. I've squared it up. I've done one initial rough pass, and there's still plenty of heat cracks in there. So yeah, I think we've got a fair bit to do to this. This tool's struggling with it actually. It's getting quite hot from the hard spots, so I'm going to put a better tip tool in there and try and get the metal off a bit better. So I've got a bit more off this now. I've done a smoother cut, but you can really still see these hard spots in, and you can hear it when machining. So I'm going to dig in another 10th thou, I think, see what that leaves in there. I mean, it's getting there, it's a lot better, but I still don't think it's good enough yet. So I'm going to dig in another 10th thou, run across it, see what we look like, and then reset the step. So I'm just putting a final cut on it now. I can still hear a few hard bits, but nothing like it was. So once the machine's made this pass, what I'm going to do then is measure what the step is, work out what I've got to take off the step part of the flywheel around the outside, and then machine that off to reset the step. So I'm doing the final cut now on the outer step. I've put it on auto feed so it gives it a nice finish. So there we go, it looks a damn sight better than it did. I just need to deburr this inner edge and the thread holes and the dowel hole, deburr the outer edge. I'm just going to take a quick measurement to make sure I'm at the right size. Once again, I'm using my depth gauge. I'm going to measure across there. fact, I need to take 2 thou off that. I know 2 thou's not a lot, but I won't be able to settle if I think that I've machined it slightly out. So I'm just going to zip across that again. Take another measurement to make sure. Oh yeah, that's it, bang on now. Take a measurement from the bottom to make sure. Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just deburr these edges, and then it's ready for my customer. And that brings us to the end of this video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next video. Please, if you could, hit the subscribe and the alert bell, and drop us a comment if there's any questions you want to ask. Thanks for watching, guys. Ta-ra.